Hello Nemos, we have made it back for another trip down to Naples. We got a lot done this trip. I'm excited to show off our nearly completed equipment mechanical room. All of this very cool gadgetry, this beautiful Schedule 80 plumbing. So I want to give you a nice detailed tour now that most of all this stuff has been done. So this may be a longer video, but feel free to stop watching if you don't care. So we've got two tanks running here. We've got the 250 gallon Reef system. We have the 650 gallon system. And this plumbing runs the length of this wall, down this wall, and all the way around this bend for the tanks. We did all Schedule 80 plumbing. We actually went and buffed and polished all of the plumbing to give it a nice shine and make sure that it had a nice mirror finish when it was all said and done. And now we've got the controller system. We've got the Red Sea roller mats, this monstrous skimmer that actually has a self-cleaning neck and a spray down to where it washes the skimmate down into this drain and over to the sink. Another very nice feature that I like to do on all of my tanks is we plumbed in a dedicated water change line. Just by turning this valve, this will drain the fish system, the reef system, down into the drain, and he will be able to perform a water change. And to bring water back into the tanks, we have these two custom built water mixing tanks, literally glass tanks for water mixing stations. Because we had to configure the spacing, we joined the glasses together with these bulkheads, but when he wants to do a water change, all he will need to do, close this valve, open this valve, and let's say he wants to bring water to the fish, open, to the reef, open, and turn on the pump. That will start to fill the aquarium up for him. Now with this spacing, we had to be a little creative with how we made the access to the tanks. So here we can go and get full access into the water mixing station. We can jump in and clean them, service them, and we can dump our salt in here to mix and take care of the system. So we have plumbed in some just emergency sump overflows, just in case the sump overflows, it can go down into the drain. We actually added this trim along the countertop and sealed it, so just in case water does get out of the sumps, it can get and channeled into this drain as well. So we've got, for the reef system, these two Red Sea 1200 rolls. We have the main protein skimmer with the wash down and self-cleaning neck. This can be an extended tank for maybe frags or a hospital tank if we ever need that. We have check valves for all this stuff. We ran this beautiful wiring track along the back edge and tried to make sure that we are as detailed and orderly as possible for the system. Up top, we do like this a lot. We're running the Red Sea 4 part with the Red Sea 4 head chemicals. The reason why we're running all of this is we want to make it as maintenance free as possible. I don't want him to have to deal with dosing a million different chemicals, cleaning his skimmer neck, dealing with filter socks, and having to just do constant maintenance for the tank. So with this system, we tried to automate a lot of the functions that will allow us to be as remote as possible when it comes to this tank. Very cool feature I wanted to point out is this is a canister tied into the Reef loop return. So the closed loop system that we're running runs along all this bottom part of the tank, and it allows us to kick up the detritus and suck it up and send it over into this media. This is some denitrate media, and we have the pump to oscillate, and that will allow the media to churn and actually trap detritus over time. We'll add this in over onto this canister as well, but since this is a refillable canister, I can fill it with carbon, Phosgard, or anything like that, just to give us some extra filtration. So we are running the Royal exclusive return pumps, the Royal exclusive skimmers. These are the top of the line skimmers and return pumps on the market. And we're running the Apex system. I am just familiar with the Apex, so I know everything about them. All of our wires are labeled. We zip tie and color code all of the plugs. That way, wherever they are within the track, I can find them, I can locate them, and pull them out instead of having to trace and track wires. We've got both sides riddled with the Apex. All of the plugs are controllable, so we can reset and take care of them. There's a little better shot of the wire track that we like to use. It just tries to keep things as neat and clean as possible for the tank. So that is the gist of what we have running on this back side of the tank. So I'm gonna go around and I'm gonna show you what we've done on the front side. Okay, so we're actually on the catwalk for the back of the tank. This gives us great visual of the beautiful filtration system underneath. I forgot to mention, these are custom glass cages, sumps that we requested and we designed. And so Joe over there has helped us quite a bit with this project. These are his tanks as well. So we have all this plumbing running, and we have this beautiful blacked out canopy. This helps hide a lot of the the lighting and all of the wiring that goes up top here. But I wanted to showcase also the UV sterilizer plumbing that we've done. This is kind of cool because I've installed these bypass valves for the UV sterilizers. We can control the flow rate running through the UV sterilizers to give us the optimal configuration for them. These two UV lights will flare outwards, so that way when we're changing the plugs, they're not gonna run into each other. We're gonna be able to service and maintain these UV sterilizers very easily without having to make much of a fuss and a mess. On this back side, we've got the coast to coast overflow, and I've added this mesh over the back of the overflow. It's really nice because when you're working up here, you can simply just pull the lid off, do the work that you need to do. And if you've got some nets or something, you can rest them on here, they'll dry off. But it also prevents any algae growth from growing inside of the overflow box. I want you guys to just take a listen to how quiet the system is here. There's literally no water noise, no trickle noise, a very, very low hum for the system. So it's an enjoyable thing to work on when you're not having to deal with a bunch of noise and water trickling. So let's go inside and let's go ahead and take a look at what we've got in the livestock. So here we are inside of the fish room, and I tell you, it looks like a museum. But what we have is we've got a 250-gallon custom glass cages tank. We've got a custom rock stack that was built by Grandmaster, and it really just brings to life the tank, especially when we have this closed loop system where it's a complete bare bottom tank, and the goal for the bare bottom tanks is to keep any detritus from forming. So this is why the closed loops are down here blowing and churning the water up for us. This was his prized possession, is the little porcupine puffer. But so we've added some corals in. We're excited to do a lot of soft coral in these tanks. That's his preference. They're just easy to keep. They grow quickly. They're low maintenance as well. And that's the goal of this tank, is where he doesn't have to worry about taking care of much for the system. And over here, we've got the main attractions. We have the 650-gallon custom glass cages tank. And this thing is a beauty. We also have the custom rockscapes by Grandmaster. And man, they bring everything off of the ground to where the closed loop can run, and it just gives it a nice, good, clean look to the tank. So we've added these fish in. We've got 7 yellow tangs in here. I don't know if I've ever seen 7 yellow tangs in one tank. It's been many, many years since we've had them in the hobby. But we also are gonna showcase some beautiful soft coral in here. Once these things grow out and actually completely expand, it's going to really fill in the tank. And we got amazing mushrooms. So the progress has been good and steady so far with the system. I really hope you guys enjoy the build and the video, because it is an absolute stunner of a tank. I just want you to listen how quiet. So quiet in here. Thanks for watching.